It is so great to see you guys back here with me in today's video, in which we're going to restore the headlights on my E55 W211. I'm going to show you guys how to disassemble, paint prep, paint, and also assemble the headlights. And what I mean with paint is, I've actually made up my mind for once. We're going to paint the headlight housings black. And even though you don't drive a Mercedes-Benz, this applies to mostly any vehicles, so I hope you find this video useful. We're going to use all these things laying down right here in front of me on the floor. And keep in mind that I'm going to spread this video over several days, as the paint might take X amount of minutes or hours to dry. Let's get right to it, guys. So what we got here, ladies and gentlemen, is we got new headlight covers for the lenses. We also do have new tabs, as that headlight right there is actually sagging a little bit because I do believe that the tabs are broken off. We got all the paint that we need. We got primer that we're going to put on first. We got the black, and then we got a clear, gloss clear. The rolls are to protect the floor, as I do have an epoxy floor. I hope I do not mess it up because I will cry. And I also got a little ceramic coat right there that we're gonna use. I'm also gonna replace the bulbs that are in that box right there. And I also did get a little heat gun and some sandpaper. The heat gun is just in case I wanna make an oven. I'll see if I put it in the oven that I have in the house, or if we're gonna make one out of a box. I'm gonna take the front bumper off, as that's what you need to do first in order to get the headlights to come off on an E55. Before we jump into wrenching on this thing, guys, I got a time limited offer at Titstrom 30, and now you're getting 30% off. Do not miss, as this is time limited. Get yours right now on the webpage. Everything you need is down in the description down below. So I got the front bumper off. All I need to do right now is unplug the headlights and take them out. Before you drop the bumper, make sure to disconnect all the PDCs and whatnot, whatever you have, if you have fog lights. And on these cars, you got a temperature sensor that's sitting down in the grill on this side. So I did all that before removing it, so then you can get to the headlights. This one is in bad condition. You can tell that the sun's been eating on the glass. And so you would want to replace that anyway, no matter if you would paint them or not. If you do have a W211, I can tell you that it's got 4 connectors on each headlight. And I mean, this car's from '06, so they're very brittle. This side came off easier than the other. The other one was pretty bad, honestly. There we go. Phew. They're on there very, very tight. How is this not? Oh, it's hooked onto there. I didn't know. I guess you gotta pull it. There we go. Second one, this one is in better condition for sure. I mean, at least the glass, but you can tell it's faded because of the sun too. It looks like somebody's been on this before, because this does not look like OEM. It looks like pretty crappy job. So luckily we got to it. We're just gonna disassemble this, and I'm gonna show you how that's done. And also, like I mentioned earlier, this headlight was sagging on that side. You've probably seen that in some other photos or videos that I have, because this tab was broken off, or it is broken off. So I'm gonna just do that, because that's no longer in use. I bought new tabs. I'm not really sure how to put them on there. I don't know if these are supposed to screw on, or because they're not removable, but I guess we'll figure it out. Kind of interesting, because as you saw, my tab's broken off here, and I was wondering, how am I supposed to get these on there? Because they're like a part of the whole headlight. But these smart fellas over here, what I do believe is you're supposed to slide this over this, because it fits right on there. And then you got screw holes. I don't know if you guys can see, if the camera would focus. So, and it came with bolts. So you're actually supposed to slide this over your broken part, because look, it fits right there like a glove. Look, I didn't even screw it on. I can't yank it on it. That is pretty smart, actually. That's not bad at all. So now when you have the headlight on your table or working desk, which I don't have yet, you want to remove all your light bulbs in this one too, and the electronics, because you don't want these to sit in the oven as you're going to cook the headlight to be able to take it apart. These are attached with torque screws, so I'm gonna go get that, and then we're pretty much ready to take this apart. There are some screws that are holding this middle piece of plastic, as you can see right here. You want to unscrew all these, and then you see all these tabs. Just take a flathead screwdriver. This one is not even clamping on how it's supposed to. Somebody who's been fiddling with this from before. And you got them everywhere around the headlight, so you just want to move it around. Let's get one up top here. Here we go. Make sure to save these, because you want to have them for later when you assemble. Got one over here. It seems like all the tabs are taken off. Now I just want to unscrew this plastic right here. So this middle piece was just on there with 2 bolts, and then it's on there with tabs all the way around. So that tab's loose. It seems to be pretty loose around here too. This one you're gonna have to pry off here on the edge. This was a weird one. This is more like a strap. And then you got a tab up top here. You're gonna wanna push down on that, pry it out like that. There's another strap on the side here. There's another tab right there. Already done that one. Just be very gentle, because you're messing with old cars here, and everything can be very brittle. So you don't wanna force these things. Stuck somewhere here. This tab is not really, it's fighting me a little bit. There we go. So that's how you take that off. I'm not really sure if I want to recommend this to you guys, but I'm gonna put mine in the oven to 185 degrees. I hope it fits in there. Probably not. You can make your little own cardboard box and heat it up with a heat gun. That's why I got one, in case it wouldn't fit in here, but it looks like it does. It's maybe a little bit disgusting to have, you know, car parts in the oven, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I had a little panic situation as I forgot to set the timer. I thought I did, and I came in and I was like, well, why isn't the timer? The headlight almost melted. Shit, look at this. That's not good at all. I'm gonna see if I can pry this open. Well, it's fortunate that we're gonna replace these, and this should come right off now. And you wanna be using gloves, because this thing is hot as hell. So be very careful and don't forget to set a timer. Don't do what I did. Oh, guys, I'm gonna save this as a memory. Look at this thing. Holy crap. Well, hopefully I didn't damage any internals or anything, but the freaking thing was like almost on fire in there. Oh, well, we're not using that anymore. I put the other one in there now, and I put a timer for 7 minutes, and I only put this thing to 100 degrees, but as you can see, it was only hitting, like, it says 71 right now, but it was at like 60 some. So it wasn't even all that hot, but it's just, I think I had the fan on, and that's what kind of got it. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sit, but I'm doing like 100 tops, if even. Feels like 100 is a little bit cocky too. Might do like 80. I'm gonna sit here and watch this, because I don't want to melt anything else. I don't think I will though, because the funny thing is the other one was just in for like what, like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and it only hit like what, 60 some degrees. I don't know what the hell happened, but obviously this is not the best way to do it. You can't do like build a little box and then use a heat gun. That's probably better, but I'm just too lazy to do it. I'd rather do this. Now it's not, you know, as crucial as whenever you're putting the new lenses on, because you don't want to melt the new lens. So that'll be horrible. But the old ones, we're going to throw them anyway, as long as the internals are fine. That's all I care about. Oh, messieurs, une petite baguette from the oven. Oh, oui, oui. I also realized that, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there is a little ring here with 2 screws. That chrome ring that's sitting right there. That one is missing from this melted one. So I don't really know, because, well, honestly, since we're gonna paint them black, I don't really think that you're gonna be able to, you know, see that much of a difference, or you're not gonna be able to see the ring in there anyway. So I'm not really sure what to do, because I don't want to order one now, because I want to put my car back together. But we might go without. I haven't really decided yet. What I did to disassemble these, this is the driver's side. There is one torque screw in there underneath the big one, and other than that, it's just sitting on there with sealant into the frame. And the top one's got these little plastic tabs. I lifted it carefully and pulled, and it's also got 3 screws. Here, let me twist this and show you. One up top, one there, and one there. This little fella has a tab there, a tab underneath there, which is pretty difficult to get to, and then also one in there. And what you're left with is, that's the little one sitting on the side, and that is the, let go, please. And that is the main housing. So I had a thought that crossed my mind, because I was looking over here at the front bumper, and I'm like, what do I do with these, with the fog lights? Because they're still clear as daylight, and they look really nasty on the inside too. So I want to see if there's a little tab right there. I want to see if I can get these to come out as well, and maybe do the same thing to these, because I don't want to have, you know, black headlights, and then, you know, it's going to look like a little frog. So I'm going to see if I can do something with this, because, goddamn, more work. It's already midnight, so I want to stop for today, but I'm going to see if I can crack these open real quick. One thing that I learned growing up was that I am stubborn as hell, and proven once again tonight. It's what, like, let me check. Almost 2 o'clock. I've been just sanding these down, but I want to show you guys kind of what it looks like. So they did look like this. Chromey, bling bling, and then I used a Scotch-Brite, which is over there next to the glue gun, because there was some glue left on one of these rings. But I've sanded them down. I poured some water on there to get most of the stuff off. I am going to continue tomorrow. Good morning, peeps. I've spent the morning sanding down even more, and I think I'm finished. You could obviously do it a little bit better, but I'm really doing all this by hand, and I just can't be arsed to do it anymore. So this will do for now. I think it will be great. So what I did was just sand them down as much as I could, and then I used alcohol and try to rub off any debris or oil that's left in there. And these, well, these look horrible, but I do believe they're savable with paint. But honestly, I mean, they were looking really bad as they were OEM, so it's not gonna get worse. It's not gonna get good either, but it might be less bad. We'll see. But I'm gonna prep some paint, and the first layer is gonna be primer. We're gonna do 2 layers of primer, I think. And then obviously wait and read on your cans or whatnot, and see what the drying time is, and then apply multiple layers. I think I'll do 2 layers of primer, through 2 or 3 of the black, and then maybe one or 2 of the gloss. First layer of primer done. I painted those first, and I had them over here, and I moved them up because I'm pretty careful with the floor here. So I'm only painting around this area, as you may see on the cardboard. And I'm just doing a light dust in the beginning, the first layer of primer. We're gonna let it dry for like 20 minutes maybe. And then I'm gonna try to apply a second layer and let that dry for maybe an hour or 2. And then we're gonna get to the fun part, and we're gonna do paint with the black spray paint. What you don't want is better have too soft of a layer or less of a layer than to get the paint to start to run, because then you'll have to sand everything down again. So be careful when you do that. Rather more layers and go light rather than spraying heavily and get those runs. All right, guys, it's been about 1 hour, 2 hours-ish, and we're gonna apply some black paint. And make sure to use paint that's designed for plastic, which this one is. It says plastic on there. We're gonna do, I do believe I'm gonna do 3 layers of this. First layer of paint's on there. Now we're just gonna let this dry for a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna add additional layers. It doesn't look bad, honestly. To be honest with you guys, I'm not really the biggest fan of using spray paint. Obviously, I would rather, you know, paint it the real way, but I think this will do, and I think it will look really nice. So I sprayed 3 layers of paint on the headlight housings, and now we're getting to the final step, which is the clear coat, and I'm gonna be spraying, I think, 2 layers of this stuff right on there. Ladies and gentlemen, we've finally laid down our last layer of clear coat. And I'm using my flashlight here on my iPhone to show you guys kind of what it looks like. It is still very wet as I just finished doing this, but it looks like it's pretty even all the way around. And I do believe we're gonna have a great result. And you remember how these looked, how they were horrible? Before sanding, well, when sanding them down and before sanding them down, now they actually look pretty good. So we might have saved those, and these look pretty good too. I know it's pretty hard to tell on the picture, but we'll see. Good morning, guys. Let the paint dry from yesterday, and this is what we're left with. I want to grab it, but I don't want to grab onto it. I honestly believe it looks really good. I mean, I was gonna say it could be better. Well, not really. I think this turned out great. So today, we're gonna put them back in the headlights, and we're gonna put the headlights on. Now we're just gonna put the sealant in position, and we're gonna use clamps and clamp on a new lens on each headlight and put them in the oven. I almost forgot that we're gonna put some ceramic on there as well. And I got a little instruction book and some towels, I would say, and some other things, and gloves too. So I'm gonna do my math and not do my math, but do my studies. Read through this real quick. Let's do this because we want to ceramic coat this before we put the lens back on, so we protect it from the sunlight because it's hot as hell here in Florida and the sun's super strong. So I've done my studies, and it seems like we're going to use this little clay bar, and we're also going to use like a little paper roll. Honestly, I've never done a ceramic coat ever in my life. So we're going to see how this goes. Apparently you're supposed to like put this on, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then buff it off. But you don't want to wait too late, or you don't want to wait too long, because it's going to be hard to get off. And you do want to use the gloves that are provided in the pack, but I just choose not to. All right, it's been 3 minutes and 30 seconds since we started this. I did wipe like a couple of times, honestly, so I believe it's been on there for longer. I might wait like another 2 seconds, but you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna try to wipe this off now. But yeah, you can feel it. It's got a little resistance to it. Because you could start to see at one point how it, I mean, right after you apply it, it looks like, you can see that it's pretty wet. It has like a wet surface to it. And then now, it's all dry again. So I got these lenses off of I believe it was Amazon, and they were just like $40 or $60 or something like that. Let's see if we can make this fit over the, I'm gonna be a little careful here. There we go. So obviously the sealant's gonna create resistance. We're gonna use clamps and clamp this one up. So it looks a little ridiculous, but I noticed that mine was damaged over there, so I used a little bit extra. I might put another one up top too, and I'm gonna bake this in the oven, but you'd rather have too many than too few. And also I did notice it wasn't really the easiest to clamp them on everywhere, but it seems like it's getting there. So let's see if this bad boy fits in here now with all these clamps on. I don't think so, but we're gonna give it a little try. That's literally on the edge of, as long as it sits. So I've taken the headlight out from the oven and I've started moving over some clamps to the other headlight, but I will let these, I believe it's 4 of them, still sit for a little bit as I realized that this headlight, the plastic around it has been damaged and it didn't really clamp on as good as I wanted it to. But I'm slowly moving them over to here and I'm gonna bake this one in the oven and then we're gonna put it on the car. It is a mess in this garage right now. I have managed to assemble the headlights and I put them on the, that was a mosquito, nice. He was flying into my nostril. I put them on the car and I just wanted to see what it looks like, and it looks ridiculously nice. And I plugged them in because also before you screw everything back together, you wanna make sure that everything works. So I'm gonna bring you guys over here so you can take a look yourselves. I honestly believe, my personal opinion is that this looks way better than OEM, especially with the new lenses. Whew. I can't wait to put this thing on the ground and with the front bumper and everything on and just roll it out of the garage. There you have it, folks. That is how you renovate and paint headlight housings on a W211 Mercedes and perhaps on your vehicle too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I believe it turned out way better than I expected and I have no regrets whatsoever. This was absolutely one of my favorite mods on my car and I do believe it looks freaking sick right now. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next.